Okay, this is going to be a video about this 1995 Dynamax Europa. This was originally made by USA, which was then bought out by Dynamax. So when you see those super large toter homes that are built on medium frame, sort of Freightliner FLs and M2 chassis, this is the predecessor. So is this is the RV that so background about me is I work on and restore RVs, specialty RVs that are rare and have some sort of claim to fame. So this one's a RevCon. It's stressed aircraft aluminum. It's a cousin of the Airstream. Super super rare. This Europa is it's a really cool RV. Now I'm not gonna really go over everything that makes this cool, but I'm just sort of gonna talk about why I bought it and why I like it and why we chose to use this for almost a year while we were looking for some property, and we ended up settling in New Mexico in a place called Cumado, and we love it. So anyways, we use this RV to tour the country and to finally settled down in a place. Now I live in that country coach, which is a 36 footer. This is a 23 footer, which is perfect for somebody who is in a city environment because it is basically the same size as a Sprinter van. Same size. It's a little bit probably about the same height. Interior ceiling height is 6'1" or 6'2", and which brings us to the first cool feature about it that I really like, which is that it is really aerodynamic. If you look at it, this probably has the same curvature and design as like the modern ProMasters / Sprinters. It's just aerodynamic. And you can totally tell when you're driving down the highway and you get wakes, from different trucks that are passing by and stuff like that. This thing is unfazed, which is really sweet. A lot of times when they're coming past you and you got a big RV with a big old topper, you just get pushed to the side. So this one tracks really nicely, which brings us to our second feature that I really like, which is the handling of this RV. It just goes fast, and it goes fast in a very predictable, in a very stable manner. It just does really well. Now I did do some work on the rear end, and what I did was I added was down here. I added sports coilovers. So first of all, you'll notice the leaf pack is where it needs to be. It's got a lot of leaf springs in it, down to the small ones down here. So the rear end was always strong. But what I went ahead and did is I added these sports coilovers, which raised the rear end, and it allowed for maximum adjustability. So these are, this is a coil, that's a shock. The shock is adjustable. The coil is adjustable via a nut right here, and I got the keys inside there for it, or inside, yeah. I also put in airbags, 5,000-pound airbags, which also helped the fine-tuning of this rear end. So you could basically adjust the shock, the spring, and the airbag to make it ride however you want. Big beefy bumpkin. This is based on, of course, dually wheels. Obviously, we're down here. You could see there is zero frame rust at all, zero rust anywhere. So if you were to do any kind of work on this, it would just be incredibly easy. You would just be, I mean, honestly, it's almost like a brand new vehicle. These airbags have lines going to the front, so you can adjust the airbags on the fly. So there's a compressor down in the front, and you could, like I said, adjust the airbags. The tanks have sensors, and the tanks have been insulated with foam insulation. This helps if you were to hit something on these tanks. Although I will say that they are very high off the ground. You probably have about a foot of clearance up here, down there. Also, the suspension isn't raised all the way. When I air up these airbags, it goes up another 2 inches, which lifts the entire rear end out of the way. I also added this wheel right here, which basically makes it so it's the first point of impact if you were to hit something, like if you were to go on like let's say sometimes you're exiting a gas station and it's got a steep sort of thing, the back may touch down, and if it does touch down, this would be the first thing to touch down and roll you right off. Spare tire in the back. You got a backup camera. It's pointed right down, so it sees immediately what's behind you. It really has it has nice cameras. Nice mirrors here. These are power mirrors with really nice blind spot mirrors. I recently rhino-linered the side skirts, and the reason for that is because there is some highway rock chips here. I just wanted to make it. And we were going through some backcountry roads in this thing, and I noticed that there was some brush that was scratching up the bottom. So with Rhino Liner, it's basically like a bed liner, and you'll never have to worry about that. Did a lot to it. These are Alcoa front wheels, lightweight aluminum. I also put this trim, which came off of a C10. I split down here, and it basically adds to the aerodynamicness of the vehicle. So what it does is it pushes the air away versus the air trying to get underneath the undercarriage and slowing the whole truck down. 5.5 kilowatt Generac over here. Oh, all right, in really good shape. So this has really good power. It can power a lot of stuff. It could power basically anything you want, but we never, and it does work. We never really used it though, because we have 1200 watts of constant solar. So if you think about it, 1200 watts of solar, with all of the inefficiencies of systems, probably 1000 watts of solar, and that's just like a little tiny generator that's constantly running. And I mean, it is quiet, so you don't hear anything. Right now these outlets are charged, so I can plug anything in here. I mean, I could plug power tools, I could plug in a compressor, I can plug in basically anything I want, a toaster, an oven. So I'll come inside here and I'll show you this door. This is the stopper for the door, so it just automatically stops. So you'll have to excuse my tools, just doing some last minute touch-ups on here. I actually use this to put a little screw in here so it doesn't it doesn't swivel in its place. This is the awning stick. Pulled out the awning to take a picture. So this is one of those handless crank awnings, so you don't have to use your hands. You just crank it. Whoop, where are we? Crank it like that, and you just kind of crank it in and out. It does have arms right here that come down and stabilize it, and allows it to kind of pop up a little, so you do one thing at a time. And it works really well. These are the inflator valves for the airbags. So if you don't want to use the compressor up in the front, you can use that. Gas fill. We put in, I put, to be able to fit in so much solar up on top, I took off the AC. The reason being is those ACs, I always felt made things, they were uncomfortable. They were just a little too cold. They would turn on and off. You could never really sleep with them at nighttime. You kind of have to really get used to them. They kind of go, and then they just have a fan sometimes. You turn on, and it always felt like when they were blowing too cold. And the last most important thing is that it took up way too much space on the roof, which made it so I couldn't put so much solar. So I took it off. And then there's another thing too, is it's quite heavy. I mean, it's probably 150 pounds, maybe 100 pounds, but that's on the top of your roof. So, it can really, I don't know. I just never really liked the idea of putting the AC on top. Here is where the AC is now. And this is the inside. So, yeah, obviously we're not plugged into anything. This is the inverter right here. So 13.8 lithium batteries underneath the bed. Could turn on the AC right now. So, and then set the temperature. And there's a remote control for that right there. There's also a super nice fan that does intake and exhaust. It also has a rain sensor. It opens up automatically, and that has its own remote. So everything sort of works automatically. So the idea here is that instead of pulling hot air from the hottest part on the roof, this is much more efficient, and it's pulling air down low, close to where the undercarriage is, which is usually 30 degrees cooler than anywhere else in the RV, and it's underneath an awning. So it's a much better system, I believe. So incredibly robust build. The door is well, first I guess we'll talk about the screen door. It's got glass instead of plastic. It latches on in a very good way. This is metal, and does the same thing over here, of course. Latches on right there. And then I like this latch a lot, although after a little while of driving, first of all, never let this thing slam open. Kind of messes with this. But anyways, I put this foam piece so it wouldn't rattle right there, which solves the issue of the rattle. Also, you'll notice this really nice gasket around the door, which helps with insulating and making sure that no wind gets in, no road noise, no wind noise. So really well built. This is the front door. So I tried to basically turn everything that wasn't as good about this RV. There's always going to be some cons to this RV. So one of the cons to this RV is that these doors are like custom plastics. And, this is obviously all kind of one-off stuff. So first thing I did was I removed those old RV seats and I put in BMW sports seats, which are probably my favorite upgrade. I'm probably lying about that. I'll probably think of a better upgrade. They still maintain their swivelness, so these will swivel. They also pop down really easily if you need them to get out of the way. But every part of this seat moves, just like a modern car should. Up, down, side, side. Up, down, side, side. Has a lumbar support here that pops up and down. So instead of having, I've done a lot of work with RVs, and I've seen a lot of RVs, and people have like pillows here to try to, make the seat the way they want. This seat just stays the way you want. It even has these are sports seats. So that's the first thing I did. The second thing is I went ahead and I fiberglassed the inside of these doors. and I rhino linered them in the end. Probably should pull this awning back, it's getting a little windy. So that's huge. Hold on one second, let me pull this awning back. All right, let me see, one-handed operation. Oh. Let's see, backwards, there we go. I'll pitch it somewhere else. All right, let's see, does that work? I don't know. Okay, and once it gets up there, you kind of pop it into place. And there we go. These awnings are funny. Okay. Not sure what you saw there. All right. So anyway, rhino linered these doors. Now, the dash on this thing is amazing. Now, let me first talk about this engine. This is a six-cylinder Cummins diesel motor, and it's probably one of the best motors to ever be put into a commercial vehicle or a just like a car. And this one has it. It's just an extremely good engine. I talk about all the intricacies of why. Really good access to this motor from the back and from the front and from the bottom, but most importantly from the back. Allows you to just be able to get into the entire back part of the motor. Upgraded radio. The dash area is just super nice when you're looking at it. Heavy duty, everything. That's the mirrors, windows, rhino liner door, added power door locks with keyless entry, added a really nice curtain right here that just like smoothly works. These visors work. I mean, there's really nothing to complain about with this thing. I added a really nice bright RV light up here so you can access documents if need be. This is the part where you can turn on the stadium lights outside. So again, you know, when we were going into state parks or, you know, federal parks or whatever, just anywhere where it's nighttime, obviously where you can't see stuff, I basically put lights in the front and in the side, all across. I'll take a picture of that, and basically allows you to just see all around you. I also put a light in the back too. So basically stadium lights, and these are it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I tightened the front lights to, I believe, drive lights, and then the back lights I put in on the backup camera. So when you turn on the backup camera, that turns on. It's been a little while since I used it, so it could be different, but I made it really common sense. The AC works really well, really simple AC system. Compressor works really well. The microphone for the Bluetooth radio, or for the Bluetooth, is right there. So as you're speaking in, you can the person can hear. Obviously, this is for your cell phone. This is automated generator start. Cruise control is right here. You can see the manufacturer was really proud of their Cummins motor that they put in there. This was the upgraded model. This is the compressor. When you flip up like that, it airs up the compressor on the left side, airs up the compressor on the right side. If you flip it down, it lets the air out of each one. RPMs right here tells you the RPMs. This is the headlight kind of. This is the boost. Tells you how much boost you're using. Basically, this thing rides at 65, 70, no problem. Gets near 19 miles per hour. You know, I would say 17 to 19 highway, which is really good for something this size, and basically just rivals the Mercedes Sprinter. Basically in every way. If you were to put all of this stuff in a Mercedes Sprinter, it would get the same MPG. The only difference here is that it's extremely easy to work on. You're not having to deal with Mercedes dealerships that don't want to service potentially older Sprinters. I mean, I think a lot of Mercedes dealerships won't touch anything other than the last model and the model before that. So if you're getting an '09 or 7 or something like that, even newer, who knows? I mean, they're just very finicky. This is a Cummins engine, which is serviced at every diesel automotive mechanic, and it's their probably, if you ask, their favorite motor. It's just has no electronics on it. It doesn't have any sensors on it. Everything's mechanical. So it's just a mechanical injector. This has the old mechanical injector. There's no sensors at all. Basically, all you need to run this motor is a battery, with a starter and fuel. That's all you need. It just turns right on. There's no emissions to have to deal with. It just turns on and keeps going. So the transmission on this is also very beefy. I believe it's the TH400 with the overdrive, which is basically one of the best transmissions, sort of older style transmissions, a lot simpler than the newer stuff these days. These days they have like these 10 speeds, 11 speeds, 12 speeds, and you just can't, they're a real pain in the butt to work on. So I put in all-weather mats right here. This one's kind of got this bucket formation, so when you step inside here, you basically you basically contain all the dirt from being outside. I also rhino linered these front steps areas. Instead of doing the sandpaper, kind of sticky sandpaper that they use, like a stick-on sandpaper that ends up coming off partially or completely, I rhino lined it. So it's got a really good grip when you step down, and you can basically use it to wipe your shoes, and you can hose it right out. No big deal. Yeah, this is the door. It's just got a sort of a trucker feel to it. Another thing is these will contain the curtains, and I told you this was easy. When you are ready to turn in, this is basically how you do it. You turn in and you close it up from both sides, and you are good to go. Like that. Look at that, how simple that is. I was debating putting a snap right here, but it was never that big of a problem. It always kind of worked out okay. Although the door's open right there, it might do that. So these are completely blackout, and they work really well. These, you just kind of move them with your hand like that. And I think they also do the little thing where they go up and down, or I'm sorry, they like the swivel. Same thing with here. You just kind of move them up and down. One thing that I really dislike in a camper van is a small sink. A sink is like my holy place around in a camper van, so I put the biggest sink. I think this is 33 inches or something, I forgot, but it's really huge, 12, 24, maybe 30. And a faucet that has all kinds of maneuverability, so you can maneuver. This sink ended up having like its own dish rack and its own vegetable cleaning thing and its own cutting board. It's also tapered down so water escapes more easily. You got a 3-burner stove and the microwave down here. Got a magnet knife block holder. I think this worked really well. I don't think anything fell too much unless you went over crazy bumps, but it was there anyway. Hood light and a fan. I used a radiator fan from a motorcycle, so it's really strong and just gets everything off. This is real a metal backsplash, so it's got metal inside of it, so it's not like, like a plasticky kind. I also used bamboo trim around it. The cabinets and everything are made out of basically plywood with Formica edging, which is my personal favorite because it is super easy to clean this Formica stuff, and it's basically everywhere. These doors I made because I put in, I think there used to be some other kind of door situation, but I wanted to put in this AC. And the really lucky thing for me is when I cut that hole out there to vent out the AC, it was in between two ribs. So I didn't have to cut any ribbing out, which is really exciting. This couch is a futon, so it turns into a bed, and these are the two Lagoon tables. When we came here, there was no table set up. When I bought this thing, there was no table set up. So I knew immediately I was going to have to do something about that. And what I did is, so basically these, which is the latch of a easy latching system, you're able to move this back and forth. And I have to tell you, we did this, I don't know if I should say it, while we were driving. So I would tell my girlfriend or my brother, because we were all driving together, I'd be like, okay, pop forward. And he would just kind of lean forward while he was driving. We would set this up right here, and I would serve him food. Probably have some pictures of that. And he was just eating off a cheese plate as he was driving. So it was a pretty cool setup right here. Let me put these back. Honestly, my biggest issue with this RV is it has so many cool features that it's hard to like pick which one to talk about. So that does that, and then when you're done using it this way, it turns into a table for when you're hanging out here. This seat swivels around 180 or whatever degrees, and then this table could be used for this person and this person at the same time. So in between. So let me see if I can do that for you guys. It's actually not very hard at all. You see this handle, and then the seats, since they're not bulky RV seats, are not difficult to move. I think the only thing is you have to pick whether the seatbelt goes in front or in the back. So you can see, and this will swivel around as well, sideways. And I also made it so that there is expandable kitchen counter space. This person can also use it as a dining area, as well as this table. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. I added the Nordic wallpaper. I like to add storage anywhere that can be added. This is another table, obviously. I'm just moving this camera everywhere. And this is for this person. And when you want to stow it away, you could stow it away. And both these tables come out. You can easily maneuver them out. I added a handle to this, let's actually make sure this is completely out of the way, to this so that you can easily pop it down, and it just makes it a lot easier. Obviously, when somebody puts a little pressure down there, sleeping down there, it flattens out. This could be a little longer as a bed. I'm 5'7", and I fit just fine on here. I think it can go a little longer, but there is space down here. So if you were a little taller and you wanted more space, you can move the seat forward. And I don't know, tall people, you guys have a lot of perks in life. But in camper vanning, oh my God, I gotta get this thing out of here. I do want to talk a little bit about, so I'll just move the seat back. This thing. This always gave us trouble. This glove compartment. It kind of latches like this, and it latches, and it looks great, all this stuff. But every once in a while, you hit a bump, and it just goes boop like that. And I was thinking, it looks great without the door. It looks like a little hot rod thing. So anyways, if you guys want, whoever gets it, if you want to, I could always so it's really easy to make this thing stick. by putting some latch right here, but I like to take away instead of add sometimes because, it's just a little bit more, what's the word? It's a little bit more elegant. So I think this is really cool. It already has a lip right there, so whatever is in there could fall out. And these are rivets, so they just get drilled out, and then this whole thing comes out, and then it can just look like a little compartment. Of course, that would be gone too. And if you want, you could take this USA emblem off too. And I think it could look just OEM. But anyway, that was a source of frustration. We oftentimes just drove with it down. These are the keys for the shocks in the back to adjust the coilovers if you want it to be a stiffer ride, etc., etc. There's LEDs all around this place. This is vinyl. I also made a Reflectix that goes all the way across there, because this is a huge source of heat intrusion during the daytime. And if you have the AC on, then basically you want to close all the curtains, close all the blinds, put Reflectix in different areas, because let's say it is 80, 90 degrees in here. You want to make sure that the sun doesn't enter. So I did make a Reflectix, and it's in that cabinet over there. And I actually inserted bamboo in the Reflectix so it can hold its shape, because this window is large. This is a pretty large window. Another thing that I did is there used to be one of those CRT TVs here, and every time you'd get up, you'd bang your head on it. So I removed that. I rebuilt this area. I put carpet and sort of insulation back here, and I tucked all the wires because there's a lot of wires coming in from all the lights and stuff like that I ran. And so basically I sort of cleaned up this area, made it sort of like a storage spot if you need to, and most importantly, you don't knock your head on it. And here's the little latch that I put. There was also another thing that was sticking out of here. It was coming up to about right here, so completely took that out. This is where you mount the projector. Just super simple rubber mounts, and on either side, this is a stabilizer, so you could drive around with it without it making noise. This is the speakers, front speakers right here, and then there's back speakers over there. So if you're listening to something on YouTube or whatever, your spouse can be back there and be like, "Did you hear that, honey? They're doing this." And she's like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." Security system, camera system. If you're away, this records constantly on a SD in loop. So basically you got the front, you got the back, and then you got the side that are sort of turned this way, and it's in 4K. It works really well. You can focus on, I think, one of them if you want. And this has night vision as well. So basically, if everything is closed up and you hear something out there, maybe you're in a city and a meter maid comes around, whatever, you can go out there and slap a hoe or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. This is got a lot of stuff here. This actually all has to do with the solar charge controllers. These are extras because there's 3 of them. What is that? Binoculars that we use. This is the projector. So again, the projector just mounts right up pretty easily. When you want to use it, I would say it takes about less than 30 seconds to mount. Got a really nice fridge. We love to cook. Fridge works well off everything. This can work off of solar. I set up the water heater. So the water heater has an electric element. So the water heater works on solar, and that's actually better than an instant hot water heater, because with an instant hot water heater, you have to turn on and wait for the water to come from the heater. So you lose about maybe 2 cups of water waiting for it to get warm. Here you have instant hot water heater because it's the water that's coming out from the heater itself is warm. I do have LED lights here, and I'm actually going to try and turn them on. Try to find the remote. So this is the remote for the fan. Looks like it needs batteries, but that's the fan up there. This is the remote for the AC. This is the remote for the projector. And I'm gonna try to find the remote for, I think I saw it right here actually. So, see, it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, so this is the first one. Right there. That's the second one, and they do different colors. They do all kinds of different colors. So you can have them be green, blue. They can bump to party lights, and they make a really nice ambiance. They have a, this is the remote for it. There's also one underneath the counters, and I think I gotta turn something on. And let's see. So I'll pull these back down. So this one, you have to turn on the eye lights. I made it so that when you turn the eye lights, the underneath the kitchen turns on, and then you could also turn it on and off with that one. So it does every color. I'll try to take one picture of this for the ad. But it really adds to the ambiance, especially the orange color. That's my favorite, the orange. And there's also an LED strip underneath the awning outside that works really cool and adds a lot of ambiance outside. Got a heater. The heater's really simple, which is what I like, because there are systems that are more complicated with like electric stuff. This is just a coil, and the coil, when it just, the metal expands and contracts, it touches two wires together, and then boom, you get ignition. This is the propane RV hot water heater. So when you want to turn it on propane, not necessarily electric, that will turn it on. I also put fans here, which is really important, especially if you got multiple people sleeping in the same place that are maybe not used to it, or people not used to sleeping. This creates really nice white noise. And I did this, and you can have different frequency. So if you want it to be a little calmer, and these are swivel, and of course these also create air movement here. Same thing with this guy. I added it here. I added a light here, a little area to be able to hold your stuff here, area to hold your stuff here, cup holder. Like I said, those are the speakers right there. Blackout curtains all around. The lights are right here. And you got a medicine cabinet that I reinforced here. I use these Sportsmobile sort of things, so this will never open up. That was an issue. All these cabinets are push lock, push unlock. This is the solar system right here. This is the charge controllers that are taking the energy from the solar panels, putting it in the batteries. Again, 400 watts each, 1200 watt solar system. There used to be like a little bezel here because the manufacturer was concerned with making everything look perfect and no wires showing. I actually don't mind wires showing as long as they are put away, not in the open, and that gives you a little bit more space in here. I don't know, I just don't really care to put it back. I think this stuff is sort of silly to try to close it off, because you end up closing off like a whole portion that could be used. I mean, it's an RV, let's face it. Same thing here. There was a little thing stopping it from, and I figured, why not use the space? Put your gun back there or something. Underneath, cabinet storage. I adjusted this door so it closes really nicely. I think I might have even... No, I didn't do anything else. storage everywhere. Again, you know, you could put your soaps, you could put your deodorants in here. Toilet with a bidet handle right there. Added a valance right here. I added this really nice daytime nighttime shade, which actually needs to be kept in the open position because these have memory. They're pleats, and the pleats should be as much as possible in the, let's see, let's get that all the way. Could tell I have some experience with this. Let's pull that out. There we go. So this is the position that they want to be in. Actually, it's this way. That's why it's not moving. There we go. This is where it likes to be all the time. And when you want to close it, you close it for when you need to close it, and then you keep it open for the majority of the time. I got a little bit of an art background here, and I kind of wanted to build a really nice ambiance for ourselves. So I added these for the shower. Of course, they can be put in nicer and all that, which coincide with this wallpaper. So it's just this whole mood that I sort of sewed in here, and I mean it was quite beautiful in action. I put this door. I added this door right here, which sort of closed off the bedroom area from the driving area, because frequently me or my brother would drive while my girlfriend or his girlfriend would sleep. So it kind of gave him a little bit more, I don't know, soundproofness and all that stuff. Everything has been sort of hashed out and figured out. So this is there so it doesn't make any noise or excessive movement. We actually use this, and we actually really enjoyed it. These are the lights for the back, right there, and there's lights here which are controlled by this switch. That switch. And I also, there's a fan that makes a lot of noise, which is perfect, which is what you want. So anyway, I added a LED strip around the whole thing so that you can get good light in there when you're showering versus just those lights. There is a skylight in here, so if you are showering in the daytime, that's not an issue. Yeah, I think I didn't do anything here. I added that thing, so it's like a little bit of a non-slip thing. There's a crack in this tub. Doesn't affect anything. It's been caulked. There's no reason to change out a perfectly good tub for a little crack. You can. These can be bought for like $100 or so at any kind of RV shop like Rec Pro or whatever. Even Amazon has them. This is an internal one, and then this is the external one. And you know, truth be told, we never really took showers in here. I think maybe once or twice, but yeah, it's there if you need it. Close it up, turn the lights off, turn those lights off. Okay, struggling to think about what this microwave, obviously you could see it's on. We don't really use the microwave for anything, but again, you can have the AC on, the microwave on. You can kind of see what is happening. So right now we're dispensing 1300 watts of solar right there, and we got a little voltage drop right there, which is understandable because as soon as you turn it off, you go right back up to where you started. This is an IKEA Morgadell mattress, and I believe I shaved it down a little bit here. Obviously you can tell it's shaved down because this blanket doesn't quite work the way it is. But anyways, yeah, there it is. I'm gonna pause a little bit. I might pick back up, but this might be it. I can't think of anything else, but maybe I will. Yeah, I just got a little call there. So anyway, this is how that would work. This is basically tapped into the door, and so when you open the door, it opens up both of them. Like I said, it closes like that. One more quick walk around the outside. This is the water heater. So water heater is practically new. I know it maybe doesn't look like it to the naked eye, but just knowing what a water heater usually looks like, this is a brand new water heater. This is the electric element that does its thing. This is where you put in water. Awning supports for the arms. That's a storage compartment, probably about like 3 or 4 cubic feet. Another storage compartment there. This is the dump with the auto dump right there. I went ahead and rhino linered it a little bit because I got white rhino liner on it when I was doing this bumper. Yeah, fridge right there. Furnace exhaust right there. Generator right there. Let's pop the hood. Like that. All right, underneath the hood, you got 2 batteries, driving battery and the coach battery. Of course, the coach battery is actually a lithium battery, but I kept this battery to sidestep a lot of charging issues that alternators have with lithium batteries. This basically acts as a buffer so that the lithium battery doesn't demand too much on the alternator. Everything is fused with these fuses. Everything is sheathed. Got sort of a rally fog lights here. This is the 12BT right there. Just snapped a picture. All the belts are in good shape. No issues. These lights were upgraded with LED lights right here. You can see their cooling fans and their little ballast right there. Super simple AC. That's the turbo, and I gotta adjust this this hood latch right here. It seems to be unlatching, but I think I need to adjust this sideways. So yeah, that's about it. Those are the cameras right there. That's the solar panels. And I'll snap some more pictures for you guys, and I hope you're having a good one, and I hope I hear from you guys soon. Cheers.